Welcome back, STSC Scholars. It's me again, Shri Lopez, your instructor, and let's go into looking at Unit 2. Unit 2 focuses on one of, if not the most important aspect of your college career, and that is time management. Why? Because most of us are running on all 8 cylinders, if not more. Because, you may be working 1 or 2 jobs. I know in my case, I have worked at least 2 jobs since I was 18, and I am 37 right now. So I'm like the queen of side hustles. So, I'm always out there doing something. So in my case, I am working my full-time job as an underwriter. I teach classes, and then from time to time, I do promotional and brand ambassador work for various marketing and talent companies and stuff like that. So get to pick up and work some special events too. And that's really fun. But it keeps you really, really busy. So in your cases, you guys might be trying to start a business, working, you've got your significant others to think about, you've got children, siblings, your friends, work, and now you're adding school in here, right? So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are aware of what the commitment and what this whole idea of I'm going to school or I am returning to school looks like, and how that's going to fit into your life now. Sound like a plan? All right, let's go ahead and let's take a look at Unit 2 inside of Canvas. Okay, so this right here is your dashboard, so it should look familiar whether you're on a traditional computer or on a mobile device. Mine looks a little bit different because I have multiple classes and different things like that. There's training stuff for me. This is your class right here. And as a reminder to get into it, you can go to it from the TCC homepage. If you have the app, maybe there's an app for that. Or you can type in canvas.tccd.edu. Remember the D, because if you don't put it, that's going to take you somewhere else. We are Tarrant County College District. My recommendation is to access your stuff from the Modules tab. That's going to keep everything organized. Otherwise, stuff looks like it's going to be all over the place. So you'll see your course requirements, the welcome message that I have, our syllabi. Your units are all in order. And then there's some additional student resources down here. So under your course resources, hint, this helped you out actually for the campus resources scavenger hunt. If you haven't finished it yet, your rubrics are down here. So rubrics is just a fancy way of how is my stuff going to be graded. They're all right there. And some of them are in line with your work. There's your stuff for Unit 1. So there was your first assignment, there was your second one. And then when you go here, then you pull up Unit 2, Time Management. And there's also going to be discussions that you want to have with your family members, especially with your significant others, or anybody else that lives in your household directly in particular, because I would say home life is going to shift because, whether you're physically going to class or whether you're having to make time to interpret what's going on in class in those online classes and then do your work, that takes some commitment. So that means, you and your significant other, your parents, your siblings, your roommates, whoever you are at the house with, whoever does what, whoever does the cooking, doing the dishes, all that kind of stuff, you might need to make some adjustments to it. Y'all know my husband's actually studying to do computer science right now, working on his second degree. We meal prep on the weekends. Because we don't really have time to cook during the week, but that's our way of, making sure that we're still able to have balanced meals throughout the week. Is we'll prepare 2 or 3 different things over the weekend, label them. Some of the stuff's in the fridge, some of the stuff we put in the freezer, and then you just kind of grab and go, whether it's a day that we're working in person, or like for me tomorrow, I have to be out the door by 6:15 in the morning to make it to the office on time. I can physically just grab what I need and I can get out the door fast. And it's those creative things that, that's what it's going to take for you. So your stuff for Unit 2 is going to be due Tuesday, September 6th. All your other due dates are typically going to be Sundays. Because Monday is a holiday, it's Labor Day, I'm giving you some extra time in case you need to go to campus to do your assignments at the library, you need to go to the computer lab, or you need to go to the public library. And Unit 2 is the one that's the most content heavy. It's not difficult, but it's one of those ones that you want to start and go ahead and knock out. Don't save it for the last day. You will not have time to finish. Because of the way some of the activities are designed. There's a couple of them that you'll need a couple of days to do because you're tracking different things. So what you'll see here, there's a presentation here through the platform Prezzies. If for some reason the presentation doesn't open, because I didn't design it, somebody else designed the course, we have a PDF version of it, and it will open in a new tab. Then there should be a second one on here too. So same thing, here's the actual Prezzies link. Opens up in a new tab. Okay, I think Anita needs to review the permissions for that. But never fear, we have the PDF version of it. And then all you do is you go in, you open it up. It should work with your mobile devices. I've tested the PDF documents on my phone and I was able to open those with no problem. And that will eventually do its thing. And then there you go. So there's your presentation in a different format. So that should help those of you guys out that need it. Okay, College 101. So this is the activity I referenced in my most recent group email that I said I wanted you guys to do last, because it's going to be, it covers like your first impression of what college life is going to look like. And you don't want to do it on the first day, because you may not have even been to all of your classes yet, especially if you're going in person. So do this one last. It's formatted like one of your activities on the discussion board, except for you don't have to reply back to 2 different people. I'm the one that's going to see it, and I will reply back to you directly myself. It's a YouTube video. You can watch it on your phone, or you can watch it on your computer or your tablet. And I'm really interested to kind of see what you guys come up with. Yes, it was produced in 2007, the year I graduated. Yes, we had YouTube. Yes, we had online classes. Yes, Facebook did exist. It was just restricted to university students. I know because my account is from 2005. We were in the second wave that got added. But it's always really funny to kind of read that kind of stuff. And I'm like, we had all that, y'all. It just wasn't it wasn't the norm like it is now. So this is always an interesting read. And hopefully it opens your mind to a couple of different things too, so you can kind of see what's the same about education, what do you see changing, what do you see that are opportunities for change. And then also, I would say if you get a chance, try to go to office hours or meet with some of your classmates and things like that first, to try to kind of make that connection. Because what I've noticed is if you do this activity like on the first day, like there's a question in there that addresses, well, do you know your professors and your classmates? And on day 1, you may not. But if you're doing that like in the second week of class, then you may have had a chance to interact with, one or all of the professors. You may have had a chance to interact with your classmates. Maybe you've done some study groups in person or virtually. So you see how the answers can be vastly different if you actually had a chance to, immerse yourself in that college culture. There's a couple little short little snippet like videos, 30 seconds to a minute. Yep, Office Space is the source of a lot of memes that are out there. And so is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Okay. First major thing here. So there's a PDF version and there is a Word document version. You can complete either one that is compatible with your device. The Word document formatted kind of weird, but you can highlight on there, you can type on it. The PDF version, you can print it out, or if you want to convert it to a fillable form, you can do that too. However you guys want to do that, you're not required to print it. Just whatever way you want to fill out that information, you can. I've seen people do all these different things. And so see, this is a questionnaire about just some preliminary observations about how you spend your time. And then you're gonna fill in each column right here, so all your ones, all your twos, and so on. You're gonna put in your total, and then we're gonna take a look at your range to see how are you at manage your time up front versus. Okay, so yeah, so what we'll do is we'll look at how you are managing your time now and if there's any areas for improvement. And then you just click next, go into your next item. Then you have your assignments calendar. So let's see. I'm just going to use the PDF version for right now. On the Word document, you can physically fill that in. You can type it out. Okay, so now you have a to-do list. So you're going to need either your calendar, your planner, or your syllabi for all of your classes. So whether you're taking one class or whether you're taking multiple, you need to look at what you have going on for the next 2 weeks for your courses. You'll fill in the month here, so whether it's August or September, depending on when you start on this activity, and then you're going to put the dates here. So like, for example, today is Wednesday, August 24th, right? So there's 24th, 25th, 26th, and so on. Or what you can do is you can project forward, start it with Sunday and put it out there. Then you're going to put your name of your class, any major assignment, like the name of the major assignment that you have, the due date, any special requirements that you have. Then here, what I would do, so let's say like you use our class and you're going to use Unit 3. List out the Unit 3 activities, but then also what I would do is allocate time to work on them. That's something I messed up on in graduate school myself. I remembered to write down every single due date in advance. I had it on my calendar, I had it in my planner, but I didn't account for how much time it was going to take to do the individual activities. I didn't realize that some of my papers were going to be 20 pages long. I didn't realize that my exams for marketing in international business were going to be 3 hours. So you need to make sure that you have to start something and that timer is going, that you have enough uninterrupted time to complete it. Does that make sense? So that's what you're going to need to factor in. And what you can put here is you can put brackets of time. So from 2 to 3 p.m. on Saturday, I'm going to work on my math topics for college readiness math. Then from there, I'm going to do another couple of topics or something like that. This could be English class. I know a lot of y'all are taking speech. Speech could be here. Whatever that you need to fill in. In some cases, you guys might have co-requisite courses where you're taking 2 different math classes, like the developmental and the college level math. Or like with English, you might have English Composition 1 paired up with 0399, 0112, or 0114. So you can break those down too, depending on how your professors have those structured. So So you're going to see each of these things is going to build upon another one. This is a PDF document, so there's, so this is what I think it is. It's thinking. Yes, this is exactly what I thought it was. Okay, so with this one, this is going to represent what your average week looks like. What you're going to do in here is you're going to fill in what you would do in a typical week. So not just study time, not just work. Account for sleep, account for your morning routine. So if you shower, if you got to shave, if you need to wash your face, brush your teeth, do your hair, all that kind of stuff. You need to factor that in. Factor in meals, so not just eating, but the preparation for them, or if you need to physically go pick something up, factor that in. You need to look at your class time. So if you're going to campus, factor in that commuting time. Going to work, commuting time, to and from work. Also, if you've got other activities going on, so let's say you're taking one of your siblings to school or they have practice, you need to factor that in too, because that is time that's taken away from your study time. And we need to see, out of your 168 hours that are possible in 1 week, where is your time going? And what that's going to do is, as you get into more advanced coursework, that's going to be even more time consuming, that's going to tell us where that time is going to come from. Some of you guys might have less than 168 hours worth of activities on your plan. Some of you may hit it spot on, and some of you guys might be going over. And if you go over, that's okay. That means you're multitasking. You're probably doing more than one thing at a time. And it's really interesting to see like a lot of the young moms in particular, or like the new moms, even with my own schedule, having a toddler that just turned 2 a week ago, we multitask. We're very, very good at it. So we might have well over 200 hours and we're living in the following week. But, that's how we do it. So you might be spending family time watching TV. You might have a load of laundry on the washing machine. You might have some dishes in the dishwasher. And that's 4 different things going on at one time, right? And that's okay. So like I said, this is a snapshot of like your typical week. So plan for your class time, plan for your study time, and block off what you're going to do when. That's going to help you be disciplined enough to move on to your next activity. So then that way you don't sit there and say, okay, well, I'm going to study math for 2 hours, and you end up studying 4, and then you never get to your next class. This is the alternative version of that activity. So for those of y'all that want a little bit more exposure with Microsoft Excel, that's what this is going to give you. And then I have the old video of it. Content's still the same, just remember the dates are a little different. And I have 2 different Excel versions. One is compatibility mode. Again, this version is optional, so you can either do the previous chart, which is a snapshot of your typical week, or this one right here. This is the activity that takes 7 days. So you have to start it by a certain date, and you really need to complete it by Labor Day at the latest, because if you try to complete it on Tuesday, then you won't have time to fill all of Sunday in, because you have to physically turn the activity in. Okay? Not physically, but you have to upload it. So it won't account for all of the time. So what you'll see is there's a chart. So tab 1 has a chart, and you can change all that stuff here. Lovely little drop-down menu that has various activities, like sleep. Don't worry, you don't have to click on every single thing. So let's say you are lucky and you get to sleep till 8 o'clock every day. Then you can drag and drop, and boom. There's your time that you plan to sleep in the morning. And then right here, then you can put in like your personal care or eating, anything like that. That'll all fit. So this is projected. This is actual. So you're gonna record what you actually do. So let's say you actually get up at 6:30 every morning, right? And then you'll put on what you actually do. So this is why we're saying you're gonna work on this every day for 7 days. And just take 10 to 15 minutes at the end of the day and document what you actually did. Like, I slept this long, I studied this long, maybe you didn't get a chance to study, maybe you were scheduled to work and you ended up having to call in. Life happens, we wanna see it. And then what this lovely little tab here is going to do is it's going to subtract the difference. Projected or planned time versus what you actually did. So I intended to study 4 hours on Sunday for my math class. I got 30 minutes in. Where did the other 3.5 hours go? That's what this is going to tell us, and it's going to force you to face it. And why is this important? Well, the reason that this is important is for every 3 hours you spend in class, you want to allocate every 1 hour you spend in class, you want to allocate about 3 hours. So 3-hour course, English 1301, look at the 3. 3 times 3 is 9. That means you study approximately 9 hours per week to earn a passing score in that class. So that's 9 hours right there. Let's say you did 3. 9 times 3 is 27. That's a part-time job. 4 classes, 36 hours. That's knocking on the door of a full-time job. For those of y'all that level up and want to go to graduate school, then it's 5 to 6 hours for every 1 hour you spend in class. So what I ended up doing is, let's say I had to do my stuff toward the end. 1 class hour, 6 hours I had to study, right? But my classes were 3 hours. So, yeah, that was well over 40 hours a week, right? We were looking at approximately about 18 hours of study time per class a week. And these were 10-week courses. And that's just a pass. And at the graduate school I went to, you could not graduate with a C average. You had to have a B average, A's and B's only, 3.5 GPA or higher. Otherwise, you're not crossing the stage. Which meant if you got I have a 75 average, yeah, you need to redo the class. Take it a step further. Commuting, right? So let's say I was going from my office and then I was trying to go to Amberton University. You got Garland, you got Frisco for an in-person class. Let's see how long does that take. So let's say Garland. You have to factor in the commuting time, and then see, in my case, I had to factor in commuting time with getting off of work at either 5 p.m. or 7 p.m. just to get there, then to physically sit in class, and then to drive home. Remember, I haven't touched any homework yet, and I've been at work all day. And look, these are the times now. That's not during peak time. Starting to make sense? Starting to see why this is important, right? So for every 1 hour in class, set aside 3 hours. You may not need it right now, but based on some of the things that you guys want to study, you're going to need it, and that time's going to have to come from somewhere, which means some things are going to have to get delegated to other family members, or they're going to have to get put on the back burner temporarily. Okay, then here's the test prep document. And this is what I'm saying, you gotta talk with your family members too, because I think you guys are starting to see, like, what you want to do is, as you set your goals for yourself, you need to set your goals as far as what type of grades you want to earn in your courses. Because what you don't want to do is put yourself in a situation where, let's say like you're planning to transfer or you're going to apply to a program such as like the nursing program or dental hygiene. You don't want to put yourself in a position where, you know, you have the GPA to transfer to the university, but your GPA is too low to get into the program of your choice, because sometimes those GPAs are different, or it is a competitive program and the minimum is not enough for them to look at you. You know, it might say on paper, oh, you need a 3.0 B average, but in reality, you need an A average to be competitive because of demand. You need to factor that in. Another thing that you'll want to factor into is, does your class have additional requirements? So future teachers, a lot of your classes have observation hours. So that's something else you have to include. And those observation hours are required for you to sit for your state certifications. You don't do it, you ain't passing your class. Or at least that's how it was with the classes that I took. Like, my professors were like, you can do all the work, but if you don't do the observation hours, because that's a state requirement, 1, you can't pass, and 2, you can't sit for the state exam anyway. They're not gonna let you. So you might have something like that. Healthcare students, so nursing, dental, radiology, respiratory, all of y'all, clinicals, which are like internships that you have with like the area hospitals, clinics, and nursing homes. That's gonna take time too. And then for everybody else, you might have different, you know, various internships that are industry specific, that are getting you prepared to get that full-time job in, you know, your intended role. And that's on top of class. Okay, so for this one, 5-day test prep. So this is an example of, you know, exam or quiz that you have coming up. So you need to, again, look at your syllabi or your calendars for all of your classes and pick out a test or quiz or something like that you have. If you're in a class that doesn't have tests or quizzes, use a major paper or project and plan out what you're going to do for the next 5 days to prepare for this. So you'll look at whatever the date is that you're going to take it, and then kind of work backwards on how you're going to prepare for it. And this could even apply for things like the self-paced items. So let's say like you're in Math 0090, which is college readiness math, and you're using the program Alex. Well, you guys have your high progress, you have your knowledge checks, and you have your goals test. So how many topics are you going to do a day? Or how many videos are you going to watch? How many, you know, your notes, all that kind of stuff that you need to review to get ready for those tests. Because it's all those things together that are going to allow you to receive credit for the course and move on to your next course. And sorry, I actually have a duplicate version of this, so I will take that off. And then right here, we get to personal finance and financial aid. So this is the fun one where we get to figure out how are we going to pay for college, and can we do it debt-free, or, you know, can we do it for as little money out of pocket as possible? So we'll look at that. This also focuses on personal budgets, because as you move up in the world and make more money, lifestyle creep can come in, and we want to make sure that we get a rein in, you know, we rein in on that ahead of time. Alright guys, and that's all I have for you this evening, so keep up the great work. Like I said, I'm really enjoying reading your Unit 1 assignments. Go ahead and work ahead on Unit 2. If you finished Unit 2, go ahead and go to Unit 3. Again, I'm working on updating all my videos for the various things. Feel free to email me, message me in Canvas, message me on Microsoft Teams, and drop in for office hours. I'll have a link for that soon, so we can pick out some optional times for you guys to, you know, join the meet and greet, so that way you can meet me, you can meet some of your classmates, y'all can form study groups and all that fun stuff. All right, so keep it up and remember, you got this. Take care.